Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another video tutorial brought to you by me, Steve, from the Aesthetic Entertainment family from the DreamEvilNetwork.com. And in this tutorial I'm basically going to be teaching you how to make an abstract C4D render in Cinema4D, obviously, and basically we're just going to jump straight ahead and get right into it. So first of all, what you want to do is you want to come up here to your spleen menu. It's basically a backwards S, and if you left click and hold and select text like so, you'll get a box come up down here in the object properties when my Cinema4D doesn't crash. There we go. Right, so when it comes up in your object properties, you just want to put something in, doesn't matter what it is. For the sake of this, I'm just going to put tutorial, and there we go, it's popped up there. So now what we want to do is we're going to come and left click and hold this button here, which is your NURB button, and we're going to select extrude NURBs. And then what we're going to do is we're going to grab our text spleen and drag it into our extrude NURBs to make it a child, and we're just going to collapse that, and as you can see it's made our text three-dimensional, which is good because that's exactly what we want. So now we're going to go back up to our spleen menu and we're going to select a helix spleen like so, and again we're going to add an extrude NURB, just drag that in to make it a child, and again it will make it three-dimensional like so. Now what I've found is it doesn't matter, you don't have to be exact replacement, but it does help just a tiny bit, just to kick off flow, really. That's what it's all about. So what I do is I just center it off like that, and then I'm just going to scale it like so. Right, if you didn't see what I just did there, for me to scale it over, what I did is I clicked on my extrude NURBs and I clicked this button, which makes it editable, or you can press, I think it's Control C. Shortcut is C, sorry. Right, so now that's done, what we're going to do is we're going to Control C and Control V that, and then we're going to just rotate it like so, just so we get something that looks like that. Now we're going to go back up to our spleen menu and we're going to add in a formula spleen and add another extrude NURBs, and again drag our formula into the extrude NURBs, making it a child. And we're just going to click the edit button or press C, and we're just going to scale it just so it sticks out both ends, just like that. Now we're going to click that again and hit Control C, Control V, and we're going to rotate that the other way like that, so it all looks like a DNA strand. Now that's exactly what we want. Now what we can do is we can select all these, right click, and then go to group objects, which will put them in a null object, or if you're in R13 go to create object null and then drag all of them in, or in R10 to R12 I believe it is objects null objects. But anyway, once you've done that, we're going to start adding in some deformers. Now this button here, this little arch thing, that's our deformer button. So if you left click and hold, and you get all these deformers that come up. First off we're going to add in it is a bend. Now always set the mode to unlimited, and to get your own results play with the strength and the angle. For this tutorial, just for the sake of it, I'm going to put 48 strength and 16 angle. Now I'm going to add another deformer, which is a bulge. Again, drag it into a null object, set the mode to unlimited. Again, play with the settings, get something that you like, but for the sake of the tutorial I'm going to put 65. As you can see, it's bulged everything right out. And the next deformer I'm going to add is a twist. Drag and drop that, set the mode to unlimited. Again, play with the settings till you get something you like. Anything will do, it doesn't really matter because it's all going to get deformed anyway. So we're going to add last two more deformers. We're going to add first one is a formula. Drag and drop. Now just play with these. You can play with these. Select Z radial or Y radial, X radial, cylindrical, spherical. Each one gives their own little effect, which is something that you as a user will have to play with and figure out what you like as an individual. And the last deformer we're going to add is an explosion FX. Just drag and drop that, and as you can see, as soon as I added it in, it's exploded my what I've done so far. But that's a bit too much, so what we're going to do is we're going to drop it to about 5. That's still too much. Drop it to about 3. Perfect. See, this way, doing it this way, it hasn't put in a lot of exploded fragments. It only gives you a select few, which is pretty good. Right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to collapse this null object, and then we're going to Control C and Control V our null object. And then what we're going to do is on our duplicate null object, we're just going to move it over and rotate it, and just start creating something with a bit of flow. That's what we're going to do. It's always best to keep it on like a ground level sort of thing like this, and then just create a few. I always select all my null objects that I've created and then duplicate them. This way you get more bang for your buck, I suppose is the correct term. Just keep playing around with stuff till you get something that you roughly like. Right, then what we're going to do is we're going to group all these objects together. So we're going to select them all, right click, group objects into a null object, like so. Now before we go any further, we're going to add a light object. Now on yours it might be a 4 arrows or something, or you might have a light bulb, but either way you'll find it's along this bar here next to your primitive objects, your spleens, your extrude NURBS and your arrays. So we're just going to add in a light object, and now we're just going to move it, because if you don't move it sometimes you get the wrong sort of light look, and that's never what you want. So that looks pretty good to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to zoom in, center this bit here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on this double arrow just here, right click and drag all the way to the left, then release, then left click and drag to your right, and just get something that you like. This is my end result, which is going to be my C4D. And now we're going to add a material. Now you can have a blast at creating your own materials. I haven't got that far yet with my Cinema4D knowledge, so I'm just going to load some up. There's plenty of material packs around on DeviantArt, and if you just Google the internet, you'll find some pretty nice ones. I'm just going to use some that I've downloaded. Just going to pick a random one, just pick that one. Now, before I render it properly, I'm going to have a quick preview of it. I always render out in 800 by 600, just so I can see what it's actually going to look like. And then if I don't like the material, or I don't like the way my C4D is going to look, then I'll actually change it. And that looks like it's going to be alright as it goes. So actually no, I don't like it. Alright, so we're going to delete that material. I'm going to add this one. Right, doesn't matter on what it's going to look like. I'm going to go into my render settings, which is Control B, and I always set my presets. I always use the presets in R13, and I use 1280 by 1024 as that's my screen resolution. I always save it as a TIFF. I select alpha channel, leave these two unticked. I don't use multipass, anti-aliasing. Actually I should, yeah, anti-aliasing set to best. Options, I always leave them as they are. Stereoscopic, which I don't use. Right, and with that done, I'm just going to click on the render button, and I'll let that get on its way. With that, I'm actually going to wrap up the tutorial now, because this might take a while to render. This tutorial was requested by Spells from sigresource.com. So basically this was made for him. My old tutorial was a bit jaggedy and a bit crappy, but this one is a lot better since I've got some decent recording software. That's about it. If you have any questions or anything I can help you with, then feel free to get in touch. You can find me at www.thedreamevilnetwork.com, www.photoshopgtr.com, and www.sigresource.com. If you want any other tutorials regarding Cinema4D, please get in touch. I will do my utter best to help you. I can also help out with Photoshop tutorials as well, so if there's anything you need to know, get in touch and I will try and help you as much as I physically can. This C4D render will be posted at the bottom below the actual video link or the actual video preview, and I hope to see some results. Again, I have been Steve from the Aesthetic Epitome family. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe and leave your comments. A like always goes a long way. Thank you very much. I'll see you again very soon. Peace out now.